Hey everybody, it's Jay Henry. In our last video, we got started with creating a UI using Next.js. In this one, we're going to add a global template that can be used to provide styling across all of our pages without having to, repeat it from page to page. And if there's enough time, we'll actually fill out the prediction API file and actually call out and get predictions based on files that we're going to upload here, as well as save the information to Elasticsearch. So we're going to try and cover a lot, so I will just get started. So what we're going to do is create in the pages directory, we're going to create a file called template. And this is going to be a global template that we are going to use to apply to all pages. And we'll do that. I'll show you how we're going to do that later. We're going to use a special kind of format for Next where it gives us a special file name that we can use for global stuff like this. This file is going to contain really just markup and styling. And so I think let's add some class names here. We'll call this one layout because it is going to be global layout, and then we'll create a div for a div for markup from other pages here. And so we'll call this one the main container, and we're going to actually use this to let's see, props children will be rendered in here. And so basically this is going to be wrapped around every page that we create from here on out. And so we're going to create style JSX, and we're going to use this keyword global. And let's see, let's add that and that. And so let's just get in here and create a couple of real simple global styles. One that had to do some hunting to find is Next adds a div with this ID on it, kind of around everything. And so one of the things I like to do is get my stuff in the middle of the screen. And so you've got to make sure that this element is set at 100% height so that you can do that. So just a little trick that I found, I guess. My font, family, there's, let's see, what do I like? I like Proxima, Nova, with a fallback to System UI, with a fallback to sans serif. That could be anything. Put whatever you like in there. My background, I'm going to give myself some contrast. So we're not just staring at a white page, because it kind of bothers me. I don't want it to be too dark though. And again, 100% height, because I like to get my stuff in the middle. And then I'm going to give myself a top margin. Lower on, we're going to be using some different display types where if you don't give yourself a margin at the top, they'll push to the very top of the page and it'll look kind of strange. Layout. Do a little bit of padding at the top just to give ourselves something to work with. Let's see, again, height 100%. We're going to do a grid display. Let's see, align items. We're going to do center, and then justify content center. None of this is super important. It certainly has nothing to do with any of the logic that we're writing or any of the functionality. It makes it easier for me to look at it if I'm working on something for a long time. Let's do 45 pix padding there. Do a background of a really light background, but not quite white. And let's give it a border solid. Picks just a very just dark enough that you can see it. I think that is probably going to work. And so these are the global styles that we're going to apply to everything, and this is the container that's going to wrap around everything to allow us to apply those styles. But this on its own so far does not do anything. We actually need one more thing to make use of this, and we're going to use a built-in thing in Next, which is underscore app.js. And if we do this, we're going to import React from React. We're going to import app and container. Yep, that's good. From Next app. And so what this is doing is really taking advantage of some naming conventions that Next uses in order to, I don't want to call it hack the global stuff, but definitely insert ourselves into the processing pipeline for that stuff. And then we're going to give ourselves a class. jhenrycode seems like a good name to me. This will extend app. And so this is the part where we're going to use the template that we just created and wrap everything in it. Component and page props from this props, I think, yeah. Props, yep. And then what we'll return is we will return our template. And our template is going to wrap the component. And this is how we're going to get our stuff sitting around everything else that we create in this project. And then we'll need to export this thing, I think. Export default. And so if we've got this right, when we load back up our template page, we should see the styling that we just created. But one thing that I think I remember, I think I learned the hard way, is that we actually have to shut down our server and restart it to get that styling to be applied. And so if we restart this server and let it load up, and then we take a look at our index page, you can see that the global styling has been applied. And so now I think we can, we've got a global template, we can put that to bed and we can start worrying about creating the prediction API. But I think I'm gonna do that in the next video because I don't want this to run too long, and that's a fairly involved piece of code. So if any of this was helpful, please like and subscribe. If I did anything wrong, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.